And this morning, let's get you the latest updates on the hijab controversy playing out in Karnataka. The heart of this issue is Udupi, where it started off, and even now, protests have escalated across Udupi district. In most educational institutes, you see these kind of images of students either wearing saffron shawls or hijabs protesting over the entire controversy. Shrija is with us live from Udupi with the latest on this. Shrija, protests escalating across Udupi. Take us through what's happening around you. If you can speak to some students there as well.
Let them go there! Let them go there! Sir, ma'am, right now I am in front of MGM College. Here the situation is getting more hot as boys are in the saffron caps and wearing shawls, but the women, the girl students who are in burqa and hijab, they want them not to protest, the saffron guys. And here what happens is the girls are very arrogant. When principal and the college management ask them to keep calm, both the sides, they're not ready, so here we have, will you speak? What is happening?
Yeah,
right now,
my name is Tasmia, and then
is talking to us regarding the same.
go inside the classroom without hijab. Since we are wearing this from childhood, how can we remove this? And before few days they are coming wearing saffron shawl and telling that even they want to wear those shawls. How come they wear? We are wearing this from the beginning. If they had informed us in the beginning, we would left the college and join some other college where we are allowed to wear scarf. And they are protesting from the morning, and we are standing here like we want. And we have exams next week. We want to study for exam, and those.
Shrija, keep talking to us, keep taking us through what's happening there. Can you get more voices from these students? Because the girls who are wearing a hijab, they're saying that they've been wearing this from the very start. Can you confirm that for us?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a कल से हम लोगों का next week से हम लोगों का exam है, and इस week से वो they started to leave, and none of the lecturers are supporting us. None of the lecturers are. We are only standing for ourselves.
Asking us to get out. Okay, they said that the management is asking them to get out from the campus, which they are not ready. They say that they should throw the boys out of the campus, and fighting in between in between. Suddenly they are starting with the saffron shawls and all. They say that that's not fair. And yeah, once again, we have more students regarding the same.
They didn't allow us to write exam, practical exam. I had practical exam. They said to get out without wearing scarf. You have to come inside. Exam today morning from 9 to 10:45. They said me to get out without wearing. You have to come without wearing the scarf. That to annual practical exam. Why they are doing like that?
What do you think the college should do?
They have to support us. They have to equal. They have to give rights for equal, not only for them. They are supporting them for us, not us. For us, why they are doing like that? They didn't allow us to write exam. What is this?
We cannot just give up, ma'am. We cannot give up. This is something else. This is something else. Hijab, this is not a piece of cloth. For them it is like a piece of, but this is something else. We cannot just give up. We are not ready to give up.
Okay, now we are going to speak to some of the saffron guys. What is their opinion regarding the same? What do you have to say about the students are still shouting, and they're busy in that.
Keep speaking. What's happening is keep.
Okay. So the teachers and the management are trying to convince the saffron guys right now. You can see the visuals. Okay, they want the things to be happen very peacefully. As the girls right now said that they were not allowed to write exams also. So they are not happy with the scenario which is developed. They say that wearing saffron is not must. It's not in the tradition, but they have been wearing it.
Okay, Shrija showing us what's happening there on the ground. You see that sea of saffron around her. These are students who are holding counter-protest to the hijab controversy. Outside that educational institute, outside those gates, you've got huge crowds. Jai Shri Ram chants also, those slogans ringing in the air. They've got one group full of saffron, the other group wearing hijabs and headscarves. This is escalating like never before in Udupi district, and none of them are being allowed inside the educational institute. So they've gathered in such large numbers right outside. Shrija is reporting there from the ground. India Today getting you the latest ground reports of what's happening. This is the MGM College in Udupi, where you're seeing this kind of an unprecedented showdown. Unfortunate, really, that in fact, an educational institute, you're seeing this kind of communal politics that's playing out. Srija's back with us. Srija, can you speak to some of the protesters there, the ones with the saffron shawls also, what they have to say? Srija, can you hear me?
Can you please explain what is happening? Why you are wearing this?
In Kannada.
Hindi.
कल प्रिंसिपल ने बोला था कि कोई भी हिजाब पहन के क्लास में या कॉलेज में नहीं आएगा बोल के, बट आज सब हिजाब पहन के क्लास में आकर उनको छोड़ रहे हैं, बट हमको अंदर आने को नहीं छोड़ रहे। इसके लिए हम इधर से आ गए अंदर प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं। सो इक्वालिटी चाहिए हमको, इक्वालिटी चाहिए। वो भी हिजाब नहीं पहनेंगे और हम भी नहीं पहनेंगे, वो पहना तो हम भी पहनेंगे उतने। हम शॉल पहने हैं। हाँ।
आपका नाम क्या है?
जिष्णु। जिष्णु।
Students are in Josh and shouting for Jai Shri Ram, and on the other side we can see that girls are against this protest.
Okay, Shrija, keep showing us what's happening around you. Keep getting us voices from the ground. If they speak in Kannada, let them go ahead. I'll translate. But get us the voices on the ground of why they're continuing this protest.
No, actually, according to the boys, it was already convinced, the management have convinced the girls to come today without wearing hijab and allow them to write the exam. Okay, but in the morning the girls had come as usual and they wanted to enter the class and attend the exam with hijab, it seems. So they got irritated. So these boys have also started wearing the shawl, and they say that if this not prevented, if the hijab was not removed, we will continue wearing the shawl from tomorrow, and this will be our uniform further. You know, this is what the boys here say. Hindu outfit, whoever, boys and girls, okay, they keep shouting Jai Shri Ram, and you know.
What is the college administration saying there, Shrija? I see a teacher, I think. Is that a teacher trying to speak to the students?
Yeah, teacher from the beginning trying to convince the situation, but both the sides, students are not ready to get convinced or listen to them. Ultimately, they have opened the gate. Earlier, they were kept inside the gate, you know, and no one was allowed inside. But when the situation went out of control, they have opened the gate right now. And though they are trying to get convinced, but nothing is working.
They're also saying that they don't have any problem with somebody else wearing a saffron.
Okay, those are the teachers there that you're seeing trying to speak to these students, convincing them to enter, wear the hijab, wear the uniform, and then enter the premises. How long has the showdown been going on for, Shrija, on the ground? What is the college administration doing here to kind of ensure that everyone, that the stalemate ends and that everyone get back inside the campus?
See, the college administration is not ready to speak to any media. However, we can see that they are also waiting for the court decision or hearing what is going to happen. They are looking forward to get a positive response so that they could control both the sect here, because controlling Hindu students and controlling Muslim students, it's getting very difficult, because one say that they should stop the Hindu guys, and the management was they were trying to convince both the side, but they are really getting failed actually. And exams also, they are supposed to have exams also, that was also not they are not able to conduct. So we can see that management is very irritated with the scenario right now.
Are they going in right now, Shrija? What's happening right now? Are they going in?
And
please, sir, please, madam, please.
Okay, I can see that the administration
Now,
there is trying to
ma'am,
disperse the
as
media.
you can see-
Yes, Shrija, go ahead.
yeah, they are dispersing the media, and police is trying to convince the administration regarding the same. They wanted things to be get on cool, but they are trying to keep media away from all this issues, but which is not happening in real.
Are they being allowed inside now, Shrija? Have they managed to get past the gates?
Yeah, they're already inside the gate, but the college, the building is closed, and all the students are outside the campus. But the gate is open, even for media and for students. The gate is completely open. The staffs are also standing one side, and they are trying to, convince students, but nothing is working out actually.
Some of the students there, Shrija, that you spoke to, the ones in the hijab, say that they've been turning up to their campus every day in a hijab and they haven't been stopped.
Yeah, we have some girls here who will speak about wearing hijabs. Just one second. Yeah, tell me what is your stand? I mean, like wearing it from the beginning.
We were wearing from childhood. Now they can't say no, we can't wear that.
Okay. So, what is your opinion? Some of the students had examinations and they were not.
Yeah, they were not allowed. They said to go out.
This was done for both the students or only for you?
Both the PUC students. Just ask them. Final exams was there for them. Final exams, practicals. Lab exam. They send out.
Final lab exam.
If you don't remove, you go out. They said. Go out. They said. Yeah.
Sitting silent in ladies' room. They started. Those boys started. We were sitting silently in the ladies' room, and principal came and said, "Get out of the campus for us," because we said we want hijab.
Now we can hear that the girls were told to get out of the class, which they got more irritated.
Shrija, can
they
you
say
ask
that
some of the students who are wearing the hijab there about, some of the authorities saying that this particular protest is a conspiracy, that it's a planned protest timed because of some unseen forces influencing them?
Okay. Okay, one second.
No, we are not going.
This protest is a kind of conspiracy.
Shrija just making her way there through the crowd to speak to the protesters as well and find out what they have to say about all that's playing out. The administration, you see, actively they're trying to also kind of convince all of the students to stop the agitation, to enter after following the uniform that's been set by the administration there. But the girls there who've been protesting in hijab maintain that they've been wearing it from day one and now they've been stopped. that this is exam time and this is the last thing they need. The other students, they're wearing saffron shawls. You see them protesting, chanting Jai Shri Ram. They're refusing to budge as well. The authorities are having a tough time at this point controlling these kind of crowds. Let's cut across to some reactions from the ground.
No, we didn't.
You were sitting in different
We were sent back, like all the students were sent back.
They are not allowing saffron, came with the students with the saffron, and they are not also allowing you.
They're not allowing us.
What the management is saying?
We don't know. I don't know what is the problem. We just came to study.
Where is your name? You are saying?
Aisha.
You are saying?
Aisha.
You are saying you came to study. What if they ask you to remove the hijab again?
We are not going to do that.
Why?
We're not going to do that. It's our pride. We just can't remove it because they ask us to.
So you wear the hijab and you want to go into the class?
Yeah.
Your name?
Aisha.
आज हमारा एग्जाम है।
इधर घूमिए प्लीज। एग्जाम है आपका?
हाँ।
क्या एग्जाम है?
आज हमारा केमिस्ट्री लैब एग्जाम है।
अभी
नहीं छोड़ रहे। इतना बड़ा ताला लगा हुआ है इधर।
आपने पूछे क्या कॉलेज से क्या फॉलो करेंगे या नहीं?
डरपोक लोग आएंगे तो ना पूछने के लिए।
Okay, so those are some of the reactions from the ground. The protesters, they're saying, the students saying that no matter what, they are not willing to budge on their hijab, saying that the government's order is something that they will not follow, neither will they follow their college administration's inputs as well about wearing the campus uniform. That's what's led to this all-out showdown. This is at the MGM College in Udupi. All of the students right now are gathered there in this kind of a protest. The administration is trying hard to ensure that they can manage to convince all of them to stop their protest. Shrija is still live with us from Udupi, getting us all the latest updates. Shrija, show us what's happening. Has there been any sort of breakthrough? Because I can see that the college authorities, the teachers are actively trying to speak and convince the students.
Yeah, from both the, I mean, the college authorities are trying to convince both the students. But the problem is, the one side says that the other side should be convinced, and the others, when the Hindu guys, they are that hijab should not be worn. So the main important issue today was because they had a final practical exam, and they were not allowed to write exams. And during in the campus also, the girls who were wearing hijab were sent out. The principal directly came and they didn't ask any kind of opinion. They just wanted them to get out of the campus. But the girl says that is not right to send them out just like that. The problem was started from the side of boys who wore saffron shawl. So they should be sent out first. So now what happened is we can see that both the side, both of the teachers, all the teachers are trying maximum to convince both the students and trying to keep away the media out of the campus. Police also in a large number deputed here to stop any kind of violence further happening here. We can see that both the students here are arrogantly strictly they are adamant what their point is. They somehow wanted to convince that they are right, and hijab should be removed. That is their opinion, and the saffron shawl should not interfere in this business. That is what the girls with the hijab says.
Okay, Shrija, just stay on with us. Even as we're tracking what's happening there at the MGM College in Udupi, remember that today the Karnataka High Court is hearing this matter as well. Nolan Pinto is joining us with those updates. Nolan, it's unprecedented, the kind of protests happening in Karnataka, not just in Udupi. This is fanning out across the state as well, where you have some students in hijab, some wearing saffron shawls, none of them being allowed into their campuses. What really has the petition that's been filed at the Karnataka High Court in this matter stated?
Well, Akshita, the Karnataka Education Minister, Mr. Nagesh, has very clearly stated, if you wear a saffron shawl, if you wear a green shawl, or if you wear a hijab, you will not be allowed. You will not be allowed inside a classroom. You can come up to the campus, but in the classroom, you will follow discipline, and discipline means wearing a uniform attire. Now, that's the reason why you can clearly see what's been happening for the past few days. In fact, yesterday, the sources tell us these were but pressure tactics being put into by both the sides to actually get a favorable outcome. But the court will not look into that. The court will actually look into legal issues. They will look into the constitution issues. Akshita, I just want to actually read this out here. The Karnataka government, in fact, referred to, when they came out with this order, to the observations of the Supreme Court in the case of Asha Ranjan versus the state of Bihar and others on 15 February 2017, and also the Bombay High Court judgment in Fatima Hussain Saib versus Bharat Education Society, among others, to justify its decision to impose a dress code. Now, while these students have stated that it's an infringement on their constitutional right to freedom of religion, the legal experts whom we have spoken to say that that is at home, that is on the streets. But when you actually come to attend classes, it's all about uniform and discipline, and hence it does not talk about infringement of your rights.
Okay, you can hear the kind of chanting there, how these students have in fact resorted to displaying and showing off their saffron shawls. Jai Shri Ram chants are also heard at the MGM College in Udupi. Two groups that have gathered there. Girls standing wearing their hijab. You've got many other students there wearing saffron shawls. Many people trying to control this crowd and ensuring they don't mingle, that there's no violence that breaks out. God forbid that happens. But right now, you can see how much tension is playing out as we speak there in the college. They've gone past the gates, but they're continuing to march on a day when the students tell us that there are exams scheduled. What really does this mean for their education is a question, of course, everyone's asking. And this isn't just limited to one college. In almost every campus of Udupi, there's a heated communal fight that's playing out right now. And Shrija is with us, reporting from Udupi on what's really happening. Shrija, what's the situation right now at the MGM College? And I understand that it isn't just in this college, but many other campuses also that you're seeing similar protests and counter-protests.
Don't you like your religion? Hello? Hello? Can you connect? Speak from Hello?
Shrija, can you hear me? I'm not sure if Shrija is with us. We'll go across to her in just a bit to get you that live update of what's really playing out there. Unbelievable scenes. This all started in one college campus in Kundapur of Udupi when there were a handful of girls wearing a hijab refused entry into their educational institute. Since then, things have progressed to this level. Remember, it was a PUC college. Since then, it's become this now of two kinds of protests. Students wearing saffron shawls saying, hey, if you allow people with hijab to enter, let us go in as well. And that's really led to the college authorities stopping everyone from entering. The gates are closed. Students wearing hijab are not being allowed in. Students wearing saffron shawl aren't being allowed in. The government has put out an appeal. Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai put out an appeal asking students to return to their studies, to not let their education be hampered by this kind of communal politics. And it's unfortunate that this is what is playing out right now in educational institutes, in college campuses across Karnataka. You can only imagine how this dents their education and their future going forward. The Karnataka government and many have questioned what really they're doing to ensure that these kind of protests are stopped. They've maintained very, very categorically that the college authorities are in the right here. They're saying that saffron shawls are not allowed, hijabs are not allowed. Stick to the uniform that's prescribed by the college authorities, which is the opposite of what's happening on your screens right now. So what's being done to really temper this down? What's being done to ensure that these students all stop this kind of a protest? Hopefully the Karnataka High Court's intervention helps. Let's cut across live to Srija's report now from Udupi.
I'm not saying any other religion. For us, India is important. That's it. What do you think that now you know that
ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಕಾಯಬೇಕು. ಮೊದಲು ಬ್ಯಾನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ, ನಿನ್ನೆ ಸಹ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆದರೂ ಇವರು ಹಿಜಾಬ್ ಹಾಕಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಿಜಾಬ್ ಹಾಕಿ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಿಜಾಬ್ ಹಾಕಿ ಬರಲಿ, ನಮಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ಧರ್ಮವೇ ಮೊದಲು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಕಲಿತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಾನು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆಯವರಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಜಾಬ್ ಹಾಕಿ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೋ ಆ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಸೇರಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಡ ಅಂತ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಉಂಟು, ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಕೂಡ ನಮಗೆ ಹಿಂದಿದೆ, ಕೊರೋನಾ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗಿ. ಇವತ್ತು ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾವತ್ತು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? ತುಂಬ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಇದು ಹಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗಿದೆ.
ಅವರು ಈ ಥರ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ not that comfortable, ma'am. I'm not that comfortable in English. Ma'am, the intention is not to against their religion or religious protest. This is not a religious protest. So they are protesting against us. So we are missing our classes. So we
want unity. Just that's it, ma'am. We want unity.
Hello.
Their students that Shrija is speaking to, where they're saying very clearly that this is not anything about religion. They're saying that their studies are also being hampered because of the students wearing hijab and trying to enter and their subsequent protest. But what we're seeing thereby is all the students gathering in large numbers outside, none of them going in. Shrija, what's the update you have for us on the ground? Has there been any way that the college administration here has been able to reach out to some of these students? Have the protests at least slightly gone down?
No, the protest is still continuing. You can see the students here all are standing on the compound wall, peeping inside. They just don't wanted things to be crowded and created a huge fuss. But otherwise, the management is not able to convince both the sides. And the students, Hindu saffron students, they are very clear that it is not religious. It is not a religious issue, and we are not here to create any problem like that. We want things to be normal. We want unity in the school, and we want things to be done in a disciplined way, in a uniform way, So they are very clear that this has been dragged into a wrong direction, that some religious, equality or religious preferences has been highlighted, which is not right. According to the saffron students, this is not a right way to do things, That is what they have come out with.
Okay, Shrija, request you to just stay on with me. We're getting you both voices here on India Today. Those protesting saying allow us to wear hijab and come in. The others who are wearing saffron shawls saying don't allow the students wearing hijabs to enter. Let's get you both those voices.
We cannot give up. This is something else. This is something else. Hijab, this is not a piece of cloth. For them it is like a piece of, but this is something else. We cannot just give up. We are not ready to give up.
कल प्रिंसिपल ने बोला था कि कोई भी हिजाब पहन के क्लास में या कॉलेज में नहीं आएगा बोल के, बट आज सब हिजाब पहन के क्लास में आकर उनको छोड़ रहे हैं, बट हमको अंदर आने को नहीं छोड़े. इसके लिए हम इधर से आ गए, अंदर प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं. सो इक्वालिटी चाहिए हमको, इक्वालिटी चाहिए. वो भी हिजाब नहीं पहनेंगे और हम भी नहीं पहनेंगे.
Okay, so again you're seeing the tensions are escalating outside the MGM college there in Udupi. This is exam time and all of the students, unfortunately, instead of focusing on their studies, are gathered there taking stands on this kind of a tense and communal issue. You see a lot of cops that have been deployed there. They're watching by. At this point, tensions are peaking as sloganeering is continuing on the ground. You can hear the Jai Shri Ram slogans also there. Teachers are out speaking to these students. The management is out speaking to these students. Tell us what's happening there, Shrija. I see a lot of cops also who've gathered.
Yeah, there are many police officials deployed here to keep the peace in place, because students are more arrogant and they have been, raising their points. They are so arrogant that the management is not able to control them. So they have a worry that might increase more, and then there is a chance of any kind of violations. So to prevent any such happening, they have deployed many police officials, as you can say. But inside also there are management is doing their work. Even the one side police is also trying to convince the management to somehow talk to the students and ease the situation here. But how much how much the management is getting successful in this is still a question. And you can hear that students inside are still shouting loudly, and the saffron guys are in full spirit.
Okay, I just also want to get an update from Nolan what the government is doing to address this problem. Nolan, we know that the government has maintained very, very clearly that, the uniform must be followed in all of these campuses. But with things reaching this level, where, you're seeing all-out protests, students in saffron shawls, students in hijab, all of them standing outside the gates of the colleges, what is being done by the government on the ground to stop this, to kind of tone down the tension on ground?
Well, Akshita, yesterday the Chief Minister in Delhi very clearly added that they are actually going according to the constitution. He's also asked the students, both sides, the ones who want to wear a hijab to schools and those who want to wear saffron shawls. He says the Karnataka High Court is taking up the matter. In fact, it should happen anytime now. Let's wait for that, and then the government will take a call. So till then, focus on your studies. But in spite of the Chief Minister actually requesting the students to focus on studies, in spite of the Karnataka Education Minister telling the students, please wait, have patience, the case is coming up in the Karnataka High Court. Here you see both sides actually going about over there protesting. In fact, the Home Minister actually made a very important point. He says that students themselves will not be protesting. There are people behind the students who are actually pushing them or using them as pawns as of now, putting pressure, using the students over there to actually get their work done. And this is what the intelligence, as of now, the police, the intelligence is trying to figure out who are the ones who are actually forcing these students, using these students as pawns, instead of actually telling them, please stop protesting and head back to classes. In fact, they have exams over there today, and instead of actually focusing on their studies and exams, they are protesting outside while the Karnataka High Court is actually taking up this matter.
Okay, so we'll be, of course, tracking very closely what's happening in the Karnataka High Court as well. That hearing is going to be crucial to decide what happens on the ground in places like Udupi, where this issue has become the #1 talking point and has led to a showdown in almost every single educational institute, in almost every college. Right now, as you've seen these protests play out in the Karnataka High Court, there's been a petition that's been filed by students saying, allow us to wear hijab. And whichever way the Karnataka High Court goes, the government has said accordingly, we will also decide our next course of action. Chief Minister Bommai also has at this point appealed for calm, asking all students to focus on their studies. That's the opposite of what's happening on the ground there. Shrija is still with us. Shrija, what really are the students hoping for from the Karnataka High Court at this point? Because the students that you spoke to, the ones wearing the hijab, maintain that they've been doing this from day one and haven't been stopped before.
Coming out right now. The protesters are sent out from the college. You can see that students and some of the policemen are coming out. The teachers are, even though trying to convince the students, still, they're coming out one by one. You can also see that teachers are trying to convince these girls initially. The lady teachers are trying to convince the girls that side, but the lecturers are somehow wanted the students to stay calm or get out of the campus, and accordingly few students are coming out protesting.
Yes, Shrija, you're showing us those live images. I see the administration speaking to some of those students. What are the students really saying? Are they going to, give in? Because many of them speaking to you also said that today they've got exams.
Yeah, practical. students normal are not allowed to write do the exam, and they were asked to get out of the class, which the students are feeling not right, and they feel that's rude, and the girls wanted the boys and the saffron guys to get out of the campus first, and then they will
We'll keep coming across to you, Shrija, for those live updates. Unfortunately, what we're seeing playing out right now in Karnataka's college campuses. This is in Udupi, where students who are going in for exams today are now sitting outside protesting over a very, very communal issue there. Some wearing hijab saying we will not remove this, we have to be allowed in. Others wearing saffron shawls saying if they can wear hijab, then we can wear this. The college authorities are struggling to control the situation. The Karnataka High Court is hearing this matter in a few moments from now, and we'll be tracking the latest on this, slipping into a very short break. We'll be right back.